Welcome to the fight, Warrior. I appreciate you being here. One of the things that has been all the hand-wringing, excuses, and trying to find a reason, and the finger-pointing that's taken place after the election, after Kamala Harris's loss on Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning. A lot of people are asking themselves and confused and perplexed about how white people ruined it for everybody. My shitty generation, Generation X, ruined it for everybody. But also, some blame does need to fall at the feet of the larger percentage of black males and the unwieldy percentage of Latino males who voted for Donald Trump, who are thinking, it's going to be somebody else who gets hurt. If I was a Trump voter, he's going to take care of me. And we witnessed this in 2016 when Donald Trump's immigration policies and the deportations that took place, Trump voters, that their families were affected. Their family members. I remember specifically a case, I don't remember where the state, I believe it was Texas, a woman who voted for Donald Trump, and then her husband was deported back to Mexico. And she was like, oh, what? I didn't think it would be me. I didn't think I would be hurt. It's not always going to be immigration that the pain comes in the way of. The economy is going to be absolutely devastated if Donald Trump follows through with his tariff plan. Unemployment is going to... Remember this. Remember where the numbers are right now. Unemployment, inflation. Keep it bookmarked. Put it somewhere on your browser. Write it down and put it in your notes app on your phone. Because when Donald Trump takes office, it's game over. I mean, I laugh because it's so just, it's either that or cry. Donald Trump is a stupid person. His main focus to get back into office was to extricate himself from judicial problems. It wasn't the economy. He doesn't give a shit about you. He doesn't give a shit about your job. He doesn't give a shit about the betterment of your life or your family's life. There's a lot of people who are going to be harmed. People who voted for Donald Trump. I've got a slew of dipshits I went to high school with who won't make six figures in the next 2 years, who act like their financial situation is going to be so much greatly improved. Elon Musk's financial situation is going to be greatly improved. Not some hillbilly from northern Idaho. You will bear the brunt of the tax cuts that are to come for the wealthy, for the upper middle class and above. I'm going to read a little bit from this Atlantic piece from Tom Nichols, the title of which is Trump Voters Got What They Wanted. Those who expect that Donald Trump will hurt others and not them are likely to be unpleasantly surprised. And so it came, this, by the way, I'm only going to read 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe five paragraphs or so from this much longer piece. I'll link it below. I would suggest you read it. I would suggest you consume as much. The fact that you're here means that you do have a stomach for this stuff and you're emotionally available to it. So consume as much as you can to inform yourself about how we move forward and the fight that is ahead of us. Here it is. And so it came to pass last night, a gaggle of millionaires and billionaires grinned and applauded for Trump. They were part of an alliance with the very people another Trump term would hurt: the young, minorities, and working families among them. Trump, as he has shown repeatedly over the years, couldn't care less about any of these groups. He ran for office to seize control of the apparatus of government and to evade judicial accountability for his previous actions as president. Once he is safe, he will embark on the other project he seems to truly care about: the destruction of the rule of law and any other impediments to enlarging his power. Last, and this is a person, not some indication of time, Last is Jonathan Last, the editor of The Bulwark, worries that we might now be in a transition to authoritarianism of the kind Russia went through in the 1990s. But I, Tom Nichols, I visited Russia often in those days, and much of the Russian democratic implosion was driven by genuinely brutal economic conditions and the rapid collapse of basic public services. Americans have done this to themselves during a time of peace, prosperity, and astonishingly high living standards. An affluent society that thinks it is living in a hellscape is ripe for gulling by dictators who are willing to play along with such delusions. The bright spot in all this is that Trump, and I don't find this to be a bright spot, I think that was an odd choice of words from Tom Nichols, but we'll deal with the column as written. The bright spot in all this is that Trump and his coterie must now govern. The last time around, Trump was surrounded by a small group of moderately competent people, and these adults basically put baby bumpers and pool noodles on all the sharp edges of government. This time, Trump will rule with greater power but fewer excuses, and he and his voters will have to own the messes and outrages he is already planning to create. Those voters expect that Trump will hurt others and not them. They will likely be unpleasantly surprised, much as they were in Trump's first term. He was, after all, voted out of office for a reason. For the moment, some number of them have memory holed that experience and are pretending that his vicious attacks on other Americans are just so much hot air. Trump, final paragraph here, Trump, unfortunately, means most of what he says. In this election, he has triggered the unfocused ire and unfounded grievances of millions of voters. Soon, we will learn whether he can still trigger their decency, if there is any to be found. That's another thing I wholeheartedly disagree with. Soon we will learn whether he can still trigger their decency. He can still trigger their decency. Still? When has he ever triggered MAGA's decency? Tom Nichols, if there is any to be found. There is none to be found. So if there is a bright spot from the angry individual that is currently running my brain, there will be pain on the part of these idiots who voted for Donald Trump. Little schadenfreude might be just what ailed you, to fix what ailed you. I'd love to know what you think. Where are you? You're obviously here, so you're in for the fight. That's fine. But where are you emotionally? Take care of yourself. Make sure you're taking breaks. Make sure you're reaching out to somebody who may be in crisis. It's important. Community, more important now than ever. Comment below and let me know. Phone lines are open, 714-576-4054. Of course, email me daily at dollemore.com. If you're not subscribed, you can help me gain back the nearly 10,000 subscribers I've lost over the last few hours. It is what it is. We're going to move forward. We're going to deal with that reality on reality's terms. I love and appreciate you very much. Follow me on social media, not on Twitter, but everywhere else if that's your thing. I am on Threads and TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, all these places. We can rally and organize and build community. I love and appreciate you. As always, be genuine and take care of one another.